Good morning. Happy Memorial Day if you celebrate the holiday. Thank you to all our fallen soldiers. Um, I have been a little MIA. I am I get very overwhelmed when my surroundings are um messed up. Like when things are not in order. That's my OCD. And between having builders in here, remodelers, contractors, and my daughter moving in, the last few days has been very unsettling for me. That's where, I know my weaknesses. At 63, you know yourself. And I just get like, I have to always have things like a certain way. I mean, I'm not like extreme. I know there's people that are worse, but for the most part, I like to have my things a certain way. But anyway, so my daughter's in. Her place looks really cute downstairs, and we got a couple more tweaks, so it's good. And she's home, and she's happy, and I'm happy, and Luna's happy, and everybody's happy. So I had some work done in my house, and I got to be honest with you guys. Like I have a lot of strong traits and points to myself, and like money, finances, numbers. I'm a whiz. You tell me I got to cut a piece of wood and fit it in somewhere. Like I can't envision it, and I just can't. I just can't picture it. And I am not too proud to say I am all about aesthetics, and functionality means nothing, as you could see by the men I've dated throughout my life. So anyway, I took on this project and hired somebody randomly, and bought some stuff randomly, and should have consulted with my older son, and I did not, and it didn't turn out really well. And he came over, he did inspection, and he got angry at the contractor, and he was yelling, I was crying, and it was pretty bad. He wasn't yelling at me though. So he just said to me, and I look back and I think he just said to me, all right, I know you're doing remodeling. What's the next person who's coming over? I go, well, I got an appointment with, such and such on this day. Yeah. All right. Well, from now on, I'm going to be here when everybody comes. So I said, yeah, probably a good idea. Probably a good idea. And I almost feel like the roles have reversed themselves. So, but that's a good thing. I'm doing a kitchen remodel. He was very happy with the contractor for that, but all this other little stuff, he goes, I'm just going to be here to kind of guide it along the way. And I said, yeah, it's probably a good idea. But anywho, so anyway, that's where I've been. That's what's been going on. And I needed a few day break. But anyway, I'm here. We're doing like a mid morning sort of thingy. And I did piles again. Hold on. Let me fix my camera. See if I can. Look at that. Like squish them like that. Okay, so I have pile one, pile two, pile three. Yeah, see, I can't see how I tried to fit like everything in across. Yeah, what is that saying? I've cut it off twice and it's still too short. I don't know why. So now when I look for a man, I want to know, what's your strong suit? Is it electrical or is it plumbing? How about carpentry? Are you okay with a hammer? Funny how our taste changes. So anyway, okay, enough of that chit chat. I know you girls want reading. So 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to pick 2 cards off the top of each pile. So if you chose number 1, I'm going to do I'll do it like this. Ooh, and I have ooh. If you chose number 1, good for you. You have romance coming in, and it's coming in very soon. I would say between now and the next water season. Don't forget, cups are all about Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Not saying you have to be or the other person, but it's giving me a guide. That's what the astrological sign does. It gives me a guide as to timing, because I know everybody's all about when. We're all that land of instant gratification. So it's coming in soon. 2 of Cups is, let's look at this card first. Let's kind of concentrate on this one. The 2 of Cups is, it's equal, you know, and he's almost like a protector. He has his hands over her hands. So, and she trusts him, and she's smiling and he's smiling. And if you look at it, the roles are kind of like, he's doing the guy thing and she's doing the woman thing. Now, I don't mean you have to do that. Oh, woe is me, protect me, all that stuff. I'm all about, save your damn self. But she's not chasing him in the relationship. Okay. He's very forthcoming and he's taking on the plans and he's pursuing and you're liking that. Now, to tell you about this person, and don't get caught up in the gender. I'm just using he and her. That's, I'm 63. Don't try to change me. Um, so the King of Cups is somebody who the only thing you have to worry about is sometimes they get a little bit overzealous. Okay. So when I look at the King of Cups, I say to myself, this is somebody who has been probably alone for a while, has probably hit a lot of dead ends as far as dating and stuff. And it comes to me like this person has not been able to find a specific match. Okay. They have not been able to find someone where they really feel is like blends good and hits all those strong points. There still has to be chemistry. There has to be someone you're attracted to. There has to be, especially in the beginning of any relationship, that want and I need to see. And I feel like that's what you get with this person. And I also say, as far as timing, our next water sign is Cancer season. And I believe Cancer starts in the middle of June. So it's coming quick. Okay. Because it's Cancer, then it's Leo. So I would say between now and the end of Cancer season is when you are going to meet this person. Okay. And you say, well, how, Denise? How will I meet him? That is part two. No. So I really feel that who's ever picked pile one has some serious love coming their way, but not just fleeting. Okay. When we get the Two of Cups, it's definitely um, substantial love. Okay. It's definitely love of somebody who um, is going to have longevity with you. Okay. Because what makes longevity, you say, because people could stay together just to stay together. And a lot of people do. I know. I mean, I read for so many people. Like I have snapshots and pink peeks into everybody's lives. And so I kind of know what's out there, what's going on. And people do stay with the wrong one for the wrong reasons. I mean, everybody picks their poison. And myself, I found through the years, and I can only speak for myself, I like to be alone than be with the wrong one. And then, like I always tell other people, they're like, well, I'll just go out there and date and figure out who's for me. No, you need to be by yourself. Okay. You need to be by yourself and figure out who you are, and then you'll know who's for you. Hopefully that makes sense. So, anyway, I like this guy who's coming in. When I describe my King of Cups, he's somebody who will go out, he will socialize. He's definitely got some sort of water either in his chart or in his background, or he lives near someplace water. And I always say, here's a funny little tidbit with this. Years and years ago, when I was looking for a job, okay, I was reading for myself all the time, and I kept drawing this guy. He would come up all the time, and I was like, I couldn't figure it out. It's really hard to read for yourself, and I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. And I ended up getting hired and working at a pool company. See that? King of Cups, water, get it? So sometimes the cards are very literal. But I like the fact that this person who's coming in, and he may be a Leo. We see the lion on his shirt. That may mean a few things. Means that he's either a Leo, he's got leadership qualities, and he's not somebody afraid to chase. I don't mean in that stalker crazy thing. And I always tell people, and you girls get a little upset with me, but the lion gets confused when the gazelle does the chasing. So remember that. I mean, I'm not that old school, I'm not 1950s, but I still believe it's human instinct with men and women. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. So if you pick number one, you go, girl or guy. Good for you. Good for you. All right. So now we're on to pile number two. Okay. And I'm wondering if I better leave them there because I think about, placement and numbers and stuff. Okay. Pile number two. If you picked pile number two, Ooh. No, I'm kidding. So the moon card, we got a lot of water this morning. So I don't know if somebody is pulling on that energy of emotions, a lot of water. So moon is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, again with the water signs, but the moon is illusion. So I kind of feel like you've set yourself up in an illusion to fail. So when we get the two cards together, I feel like, again, and I tell the tale of looking on Facebook and seeing one thing. I always use Facebook. I probably shouldn't. I guess I could use Instagram, any social media I could use, and we write the story in our head. We don't have proof. We don't know it's 100%, but we write the story in our head. Okay. Which is wrong. We shouldn't do that, because I just had this conversation with someone the other day. I mean, you could put whatever you want and make anybody believe whatever they want. You follow me? Years ago, for a joke, me and my girlfriends were planning a trip, and I put something like, I tagged us all and put we were in Vegas. We were not in Vegas, and let me tell you, like, the freaking text I got started with my children, and it was bad. But it just shows you how people believe. So I feel like whoever picked pile number two, you're in this illusion that something's going to fail. Like you're talking yourself into something's going to fail, something's not going to work. And that's not the truth whatsoever. As a matter of fact, something's coming to an end that maybe wasn't as productive as it could have been, and it's going away. And we're so happy about that. And I think today's a new moon in, is it a new moon in Gemini? I think so. Full moon, something like that. One of those moons. There's something up there. Thank it and ask it to bring you in all the positivity you can. So when we look at these two cards, and if you add the moon together, you get the number 9, and then you get the number 10. So whoever picked pile number 2, you're really at the cusp of things changing for the better for you, because the 10 of swords is a card of, you know what? We're done. We went through our little crazy stuff. As you can see, each sword is different. Okay. So that shows that different obstacles have been placed in your way from different people regarding different situations. So it wasn't just one thing that brought you down to your knees. And you may be having that feeling too of, ugh, like, what next? That what next feeling. And because his back, the knives came in the back, the worst thing about this is you did not, how could I put it? You did not see it coming. Okay. Yeah. And I'm sitting here thinking I could probably do a sort of a timestamp with these, but you know what, guys, you get what you get. So any You're lucky I'm here. So anyway, if you've picked pile number 2, I want you to know the worst is over, you know, and it's not going to be whatever's coming up into your life. First of all, isn't going to be as bad as you anticipated either. So you've kind of talked yourself into this cycle because the moon is all about illusion. So it's not going to be as bad. It's going to work out even better. It's hard to see because right now your view is from here. Okay. And all he's looking at is the ground. And you're like, but you got to remember, you can only go up from there. You can't go any further down. You're as down as you can get. So the next card, don't forget, we always go to what card is not here as to opposes what cards are here, would be the Ace of Swords. And that is victory, it's conversation, it's moving forward, it's being handed, the sword. You go out, girl, guy, you rule the world. So we like that. Okay. So don't talk yourself into a situation of feeling you're never going to get out of something. We're all guilty of it, myself included. I mean, I've been known, like, it was just bad. Here. It was just bad. I laugh now. Oi. But so remember, most things are fixable. You're going to have a little discomfort or whatever, but most things are fixable. So if you picked pile number 2, you are in for it's going to work out. It's going to work out. We're doing 3 now. It's going to work out for you. Okay, pile number 3, 2 cards. Whoa. Okay. So if you picked pile number 3, You are definitely putting heartache behind you. So if you've recently ended it with someone or, whatever happened, it's not always a breakup. It could be a fight. It could be whatever it could be. Only you know. I don't know. Um, you are about to put it behind you. Okay. And one thing I do want to say about the Nine of Pentacles is the Nine of Pentacles is a wish card. So you're getting your wish. Okay. Now, let me tell you about this chick in the Nine of Pentacles. I love her. When I look at her, I think of myself. Yes, I do. She's somebody who's come a long way, and she's somebody who can paddle her own canoe, except for building. She's not allowed to. That she's not allowed to paddle. And she's able to afford her surroundings. She's able to nurture her life. But the nice thing, if you look at her hand, okay, her hand is touching the roses. The roses are the beginning of love. So she has passion that's coming into her life because these roses just bloomed. Make sense? She may be alone now, but love is coming into her life. Now, the Three of Swords talks about sorrow, um, three people in a relationship, divorce. It also talks about long distance. So if you have somebody who you care about that's at a distance, that distance is going to be eliminated. Okay. And there's going to be a situation that you're able to put that behind you. Make sense? Okay. So I like the Nine of Pentacles because I think that you're finally starting to view your situation as a plus, as a step up. So if you've been alone for a while or you've been in an unproductive relationship, you're realizing that it might be time to put that behind you and to kind of move forward. Okay. It's time to move forward and to get on with your life. Okay. All right. So, one other thing, I'm going to put it down here. I always say I'm putting graphics certain places. I don't know where the hell they're going to end up. I have created. I fixed my website. I had like this little cheapy thing, and I started doing a website. I mean, it's not totally done. It's still very. I don't know. It is what it is, but I want you to go check it out. I am now at queenofwands20.com. So go check me out. It's just got a little blurb about me, and I got my prices, and I am open for booking. So I'd love to book with any of you that are interested. I'm home all day today. I have no barbecue to go to, which is fine because I need some downtime anyway. But anyway, so I'm going to try to timestamp everything. Hopefully, everything comes out like it's planned in my mind. Our brains are all our brains are wired to handle certain things and do things in a certain manner. And I think when we know our strengths and our weaknesses, that's what helps us through life. And we have to know when to ask for help too. I am like super stubborn, and I just don't like to bother my children, especially my older son. He just bought a house, and I know he's working on it himself. And he's like, "Mom, why don't you ask me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want to bother you." I'm not one of those moms. You know what I'm saying? I have cousins. My cousin just redid my bathroom. He's a plumber. I could have called him too and stuff. But again, I don't like to bother people. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Miss Independence here got a little too independent, and I cut my nose to spite my face. But we are where we are, and we'll start where we are. Anywho, all right, put your comments below. Check out my website, book a reading if you'd like. When I get back in front of the camera and stuff, I will start to explain to you where I'm heading with my new project. I hope you're all as excited as I am. Today is Memorial Day again, for my fallen soldiers and all my soldiers out there. I thank you for your service. If you have today off, I hope you enjoy it. If you don't, I hope you enjoy it anyway. All right, this is Coffee and Tarot time. I am the Queen of Wands. Everybody, have a great day.